even if the war were to end completely tomorrow, we are going to see higher food prices in the next several months, pushing another 45 million people into food insecurity. We're going to see this compounding of the effect of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz on the world economy. Yes, this impact on the global economy is showing up through multiple products. You know, there is firstly not just prices of oil and gas going up, but literally shortages of, for example, liquefied petroleum gas for countries like India. And then, yes, we're seeing the effect on fertilizer prices. The effect on food prices tends to show up with a lag of a few months. So we haven't seen such a big spike right now. But the way this is going on, even if the war were to end completely tomorrow, we are going to see higher food prices in the next several months. And the number you pointed out is indeed right, what the World Food Program said, which is you're pushing another 45 million people into food insecurity. So the risks to especially people living in the poorer parts of the world is really substantial. So the low-income countries experience it through multiple ways. I mean, they're also getting hit by the higher prices of energy straight out, but they are also getting affected by the price of food. And since food is a big part of their consumption bundle, unlike the rich world, it is a much bigger part of their consumption bundle. When you have an increase in food prices, the consequences for them are dire. In addition, there are low-income countries who are struggling with high levels of debt. And, you know, we're trying to recover from the last few years of very high interest rates around the world. But now, because of this crisis, one, their import bills have gone up, their currencies have gotten weaker, and that's making it more difficult for them to pay their bills. But in addition, because of the inflation we're seeing everywhere, including in the US, we expect to see central banks keeping interest rates higher for longer. This complicates their debt management, their fiscal management. So overall, it's multiple hits. Many of these countries also rely on repatriated income from the Middle East, and that's going to be affected too in this crisis. So they're getting hard hit, and especially at a time when foreign aid has dried up pretty much by most developed countries in the world. Yeah, so I mean, to start with, it looks like right now, and the best case description is that we are at only the beginning of a possible end, because even if negotiations go on, it's going to take some time, which means we're going to see this compounding of the effect of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz on the world economy. Now, if this were to last much longer, and we were seeing a much more severe scenario where we had oil, let's say $100 a barrel into 2027, then that's when you're pushing the world into what we would call a growth recession for the world economy, which is growth going to 2% and under. That would be a rare occurrence. It doesn't happen very often that global growth goes to 2% or under. And that is the risk if this continues for many more months.